Hello and welcome to Benvarmeren's breakdowns here for patch 7.6 and welcome to the patch where Galio actually will be released. So we know that he got an update and now he will be released, so we'll have to see how that holds up. In terms of him being released, I really like his new playstyle, so to say. I really like the way that they are focusing him around more utility. I'm a big fan of utility myself, so obviously that makes it something that goes into the favor for me, but I do really like the amount of damage that he potentially can deal, and of course all of the different ways that you can play him, and then also the fact that he can even go to a jungle. He's probably not going to be mid lane anymore, or even if you want to, he can go to the top lane. I think with his ult you can make quite a lot of different plays around the map, especially if you perhaps try to get an early game jungler so that you can move into the jungle and have Galio help you, or even do a gank in mid lane with Galio. So I'm really looking forward to see how he'll pan out. So now HRT got a big buff in 7.5, and now he will be, after reviving, keeps his prime blood prince surprise first hits and gets full blood well. So just making him a little bit more clean to play, so to say, just because of you saving your hits and also getting a full blood well. You will see, or at least experience, someone who are more clean, someone who's perhaps a more consistent champion in terms of what you'll feel when you play him. And I really like these changes. Also, now it makes it a bit more easy to somehow fight back if you actually die after having used the blood well, of course. Moving on to Cho'Gath. R grants more health per stack and stacks an additional time for minions / small monsters. So you can get 6 stacks from minions instead, which gives him a little bit more health. He got buffed a few patches ago, if I remember correctly, so it's not like this is something new to him. And I do like this change coming in for Cho'Gath. I would rather see him perhaps get a little bit more damage, or at least some changes to his Q, because I do think that's what is, well, not completely holding him back, but definitely what is somewhat holding him back, because he could use a bigger range on his Q or more damage in that sense. So I definitely would like to see that happen, so that you could potentially have Cho'Gath back in the meta, but to do so you need to have better wave clearing in jungle, and that's not exactly what Cho'Gath shines at. Moving on to Fiddlesticks. Q cast range increase. W refunds its remaining duration when its target dies. So a thing about Fiddlesticks. Again, he doesn't bring a lot of wave clearing to the table, but he can be really good at ganking. So at least making sure that your Q, your Terrifier, I'm pretty sure that's when he throws a crow. No, okay, so that's the E. Okay, so just getting Terrified, that means it's his utility. That's when he is able to make someone flee away from him. So giving that a better range definitely somewhat evens out the fact that his wave clearing in jungle aren't that good, because now with him getting a buff in terms of what he can do in terms of gankings, he'll be able to somewhat gank easier. But it's definitely not going to be game breaking in terms of fiddlesticks, but it'll help him a little bit. And then obviously, I do like the fact that W is now changed, because it never felt very clean to play fiddlesticks when your W immediately went onto cooldown if you used it on a low target. So I really like that change, because it does make it a bit more easier to utilize that W, the drain. Moving on to Gnar. Mini Gnar and Mega Gnar have the same health region. A small change. So that does give a little bit more power over to Mini Gnar. Like, I can understand why Mega Gnar was supposed to have a better health region and health growth stat. I can understand that, and I do like the change that you give it a little bit more power over to Mini Gnar, and make it so that there won't really be any changes, because now Gnar is just an all-around champion. We've seen him being picked for pretty much whatever you need him for, so making sure that his health region and his health region growth stat is the same, makes it so that he will be that all-around champion even more. Misfortune, Q damage up, Q and E are smoother to use. Now that they butchered, or not exactly butchered, but they did take away some of the power from the lethality items, I do like this change coming in, because it makes it so that Misfortune, who really got buffed by the lethality, isn't going to be totally bad, and she will pack some damage still. I really like that change in that sense, because now she still has damage despite her not being able to fully utilize lethality as she used to, and it will help her perhaps stay relevant in the meta. I'm not quite sure she will be that relevant, but it definitely could be a niche pick for people if they prefer to play her as a niche and cheese pick. The ball no longer returns to Orianna if the target is attached to dice, so he just a buff so that she feels more clean, and it also works really well in terms of like fighting in team fights, because I could imagine perhaps if you put it onto someone like Sin going for that ball delivery system and he immediately dies, then I can understand why you would rather have the ball being placed there. So it makes her a bit more cleaner, and it gives her a bit more ways to fight here on the map, especially in team fights with her ball not returning to her, so that she can actually, for example, if Lee Sin goes in for the ball delivery system and gets bursted, he'll still delivered the ball. Sorry, he will still have the ball delivered, which means that there will still be that possibility for a big shockwave. Quinn Harrier procs grants more attack speed, Sky Strike damage down, Quinn responds as Wailer once R is available. So bonus attack speed on Harrier proc. How much is that? That's a big buff. That's actually a pretty big buff. So it gives her a bit more laning phase power, because she used to be really good in the jungle for a little while, and also in the top lane, and even in the mid lane for a little while, but people just found a way to counter her. People found a way to utilize other bullies better than Quinn, so giving her a little bit more attack speed so that she can actually punish people once she has procced the Harrier. I really like that change in that sense, that it'll make her a bit more of a lane bully and actually give her some power back. Power to the Quinn. And then obviously I do that. Now she will rely more on her auto attacks because of Sky Strike damage being down. But that should be something that she can live with, because even after that, she still had most of her damage coming from her auto attack, so in that sense she will be still fairly strong without being completely butchered. Var's Q refund from Blight procs no longer reduced by cooldown reduction. So, no long scale down cooldown reduction. Okay, so he'll just have a more stale cooldown refund on Blight proc. So he won't be able to spam as much. And will still be fairly strong. Like, he did get hit in patch 7.5 if I remember correctly, and he'll still be able to hit people with his Q, making sure that he'll actually be able to deal damage. But this does mean that his spam ability, if you can put it that way, has been lowered a little bit. Moving on to masteries, Water's Bloodlust now restores health based on attack damage rather than granting lifesteal. So, I actually do like this change. We have to keep in mind that obviously lifesteal can sometimes be better, but restoring health in the early game at least will be stronger, and also fairly much in the late game. Just getting health instead of lifesteal can work out for some, and I do think that while most people want to go for fervor, having extra survivability in terms of getting heals from your Warlord's Bloodlust is so good for some AD carries, which is why I'm still using that. I favor that. I would rather have some way of surviving, getting that extra supporting from my Keystone Masteries instead of having extra damage. So I really like these changes, and I'm sure it'll make Warlord's Bloodlust even a better pick now because of health being restored instead of lifesteal. Obviously, it is fairly situational, but in the early game, health being restored will be better than lifesteal. Moving on to Summoner's Rift, Red Brambleback getting its magic resistance lowered. Red Brambleback is meant to be resilient against magic damage, while Blue Sentinel offers the same challenge as against physical damage. So they're just standardizing them a little bit, because apparently the numbers didn't match up, and now it does match the Blue Sentinel's armor. So just a a change to make it a little bit more clean. In-game options menu. Okay, rotating menu. Nope, doesn't mean anything for me. Some chromas, some bug fixes too, and I guess that does end this episode of Benvarmeren's breakdowns for patch 7.6. So I do hope that you all enjoyed this video. I will try to upload more of Benvarmeren's breakdowns once I get more time to do so. But until then, just stay chill, guys. Stay cool. Remember, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook. Even remember to subscribe here on YouTube. You can find me on Medium and Instagram. And well, I'll see you next time. Have a great one.